Hey, welcome back, guys. We are live and doing part two of the Hedwig's theme, composed by John Williams, one of the greatest composers alive. And I think this is warrants a lot of time to spend and study and get better with writing this kind of music for myself, but also I thought it'd be fun to showcase it live for everyone to watch. And so this type of music does call for a score, and I do have it up right here. Last week we actually did about, I don't know, 70 measures or so. So if we go ahead, I'm just gonna skip forward to where it kind of ends, and at least that phrase. And then we're gonna start back up today on measure 75. Let's see how many measures there are. Actually, I haven't even noticed how much there are. There's quite a bit. As you can see, I just saw 100. Here's 208 and so on. So 208, 209, 10, 11, and 12. 212 measures, and we're at 75. So we got lots to do. I don't want to talk too much about that so much, and just keep going. Last time we also had technical difficulties, so hopefully this week will be better. Okay, so 75. Let's go ahead and press play. And this is where the score, this is the DAW. Also, I should mention the violin right here. Like, you can't really hear in the score, so I think it's omitted perhaps. Here's the cello. Okay, and that's that. So I think I got most of it. Did I miss anything? Let's just double check some notes here. I got trumpets coming in there. And then you see a perk here. This perk line, I believe, is probably the celeste. No, what was it? A vibraphone. It was a vibraphone. Yeah. So over there, I'm thinking I got everything I needed. The only one that I might have missed is this contrabassoon. So let's just double check. This is measure 60. I'm gonna now minimize or get it to a smaller view there. That gets pretty handy when we're doing little things like this, where I get to go haha, and you can go halfway on both of these screens. Let's see. Let's look at our contrabassoon. Aha, look at that. So I don't have any contrabassoon there at 60 or at all so far. So let's go ahead and put that into the mix. I think this is just doubled up with maybe what the melody. Oh, no, it's not. It's not doing the melody. So let me actually not copy that for a second, and let's just start with a fresh one. Okay, so I can zoom in so you can see that a little better, but excuse me. On measure 60, we have an E, and it's probably that low. I would imagine it's, I think it is transposed. It's an octave transposed, probably. So let's go ahead and put that in. So at 60. And this one we can just program pretty easy. It's just a long, I don't even know how many measures worth, but it's pretty long. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 measures. So let's see, you got about there to about there. Okay, and I'm assuming it says this E, but it could be this E too. Let's try this E first, and we'll put a little legato on there. Okay, so let me go back over here so you can see it better. Let's try again. You know what? Let me solo this for a second. Yeah, it's just like it says really low pianissimo, and according to score, we're I guess there's a little bit of a swell at the end. So let's re-record that in. We're at about there. Swell and then down. Okay, that's pretty much that. The bassoon and contrabassoon are doubling. And I believe this one you might have to double with it. It does go that low. Okay, so let's listen to that real quick. Okay, all right. So yeah, just little minor details as far as that goes. So let's move on to the next part. Sometimes when we do these live streams and we're continuing where we leave off, I'll spend like 30 minutes, sometimes like tweaking things I've heard. There are a few things I do here, but for the most part, I think it works. There's, as long as there's no mistakes here, I think we're okay to move on. So let's do this measure, starting at this, it's kind of hard to see, but this is 75, right over here. So we're going to do the melody, and there's some kind of viola run here, just in the background. So I'm thinking let's start with the horn. And man, this one is tricky actually, because I would like to play this in, but it's transposed. And I think the key also changed, because normally we're in E minor. This one appears to be in B minor. So let's just kind of noodle around for a second, see if I can transpose. If not, that's okay. I'll just do what I can. Also, do we want a horn solo or just a 6-horn? Let's try a 6-horn. If you guys are familiar with Utah type of culture, today's a holiday here in Utah. It's called Pioneer Day. So today's an interesting day. Most people work, but some people have it off. And for me, it's just another day for me, but we like to call it Pie and Beer Day. So happy Pie and Beer Day. Here we go. So that's kind of the tone we want, right? Let's look at the original track. This is the original right here. Okay, that's pretty good. It almost sounds like 2 horns rather than 6 horns. But this is also 6 horns. It's just a little bit tighter sounding. So, and this is a Cinesamples one. I might use this one. It sounds a little bit better for this purpose. Sorry, I actually said this wrong. We're still in the same key. I looked at the starting note, and it was a B, transposed B. And so for me, I thought it was in the key of B minor, but I take that back. It's still in E minor. So let me just look at that note, which is right here. That's interesting, because I see a D. Oh. And that is transposed to an F. That's interesting. I swear that's not the right note in the previous. So maybe it's an altered thing where that's interesting. There's a D sounding D instead of what originally was a D flat or or excuse me, D sharp or E flat. So, anyways, I'll keep that in mind. And then that is, I'm thinking, I'm processing. There you go. What's that? That's a right? Or and then what's your last note? That looks like a E, sounding E. Okay, yeah, transposing is not my forte here, but the reason why I wanted to read it note for note transpose is because sometimes it does change, and now I'm just thinking back. I should check just to triple check everything just to make sure. No, yeah. So there's a D sharp in the original theme, whereas I mean, unless there's a typo, we can listen to the recording again as well. But over here on yeah, I'm on the wrong page. Over here, there is a sounding D natural instead of D sharp. Okay, so let's listen to that real quick before I get into the swing of things. Okay, yeah. So there's a D natural, and I had the D in the D sharp in the celeste, but now I'm thinking, do I need to just double check on all of these? Even like in the middle section here at 43, did I put that in wrong? Let's see here. We'll check on a non-transposing one. How about this vibraphone and bassoon? Dun, 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 dun. Look at that. Interesting. So I've been playing it as the celeste theme, but I need to actually go back to this measure and fix these on the melody. So let me actually, I'm going to backtrack here because, these typos will get you down the road. Any pro or like a conductor that listens to this will be like, oh, hey, you got that accent all wrong. That happened to me in a tryout once when I was in college. I got some kind of accidental for like a tryout for orchestral thing, and I didn't even realize, and they like picked it up really quick. So we got this here. 43 was the spot, right? Okay, so we're gonna fix this. So weird. I just never noticed that, and you kind of go on autopilot when you're starting to you know do the melody on some other sections of here. So I'm glad I picked that up. Now, I also have a harp. Is that right? I do. Okay, harp is right there. So let's fix this. So harp, a vibraphone, then all the woodwinds that play that right over here. Okay. There you go. Oh, hey, Sam. No worries, man. It's acting funky. So if it gets choppy or whatever, yeah, you can always come back. But yeah, I appreciate you coming on board, just hanging out. Okay, so we have this D here. I fixed that. There is no other spots there. Okay, that does sound better to me, but then it makes me wonder how that works with the celeste melody. It's like, what the heck? This one doesn't have that, right? This is the other section. Okay. Anywho, oh man, that throws me for a loop because I'm so used to playing the celeste theme that I didn't even realize there's like a D natural in that other one. So let's practice that. Is that right? Okay, let's check that real quick and then I'll record it in. So we have, okay, let's transpose again, shall we? So we have that high note right here. So this measure right here. And then, which is A flat, right? It should be B flat. Okay, it just sounded a little different to me in my ears. Okay, well, let's go a little slower on this. Okay, I'm gonna go that far. I like the first half. The first half was okay, and then I'm just gonna fix that little typo I just had. Here we go. So, boo doo doo doo. There you go. There's a B, and then I'll fix that. Again. Oops. I like to give myself 2 measures when I can. And is it 2 measures long? It's it looks like we're about one and like a beat. 1 measure and a beat. Okay. So we got that. Let's speed that up to our full speed. And it might have been not perfect, but sometimes that's better in terms of like the melody timing. So this one's really in front of the beat. Okay, let's try something like that and give it a chance to work its magic here. Good. Timing on some of this is a little off. This one pushed forward on the next 8th note beat. Okay, so there you go. That is the horn line. There's also, I think, a harmony of that somewhere, as you can see here. No, it's in unison for the most part. Let's just double check the first note in the first page here. So I'm looking on this measure at 75. This is in unison. Okay, so 4 horns. This is 6 horns in technically for the patch, but it works. Good. So something sounds a little off with the connection on some of these notes. Good. And you'll notice that it speeds up with the tempo track. That actually is how it goes with the recording. It's probably not exactly like a speed bump right up on that measure, but it does start to speed up towards the end. So that's something we could probably mess around with too. I think I got it. There was something off towards the very beginning. Maybe maybe this sounds a little weird to me. I don't know if it's just a timing thing or the sample itself, but it's like pushing ahead. That's better. And then this one, if you overlap, how does that sound? Cool. Maybe we do a breath on this one and put this in front. Good. Some of it could be just this as well. So maybe I get rid of that. Man, I'm hearing something. I don't know. It's like a weird layer. Yeah. We'll hide some of that by doing that. Okay. So that's one patch. We could supplement it with another one here, but this is the one that was a little bit more detuned than the other one. But then this one's like really focused, and I probably want to bring this down right here. Let's see how that sounds real quick. That might sound good together. This one is actually like more in front of the beat. It's rushing a little more, which is interesting. So I have to push it back. Okay, we could do something like that. Let's keep that as a maybe. And then we have English horn, kind of doing the same thing. I'm tempted to just record that, anyways. Yeah, last week this had some issues with the computer, just like not really responding. So let's see if I can do this a little better. Oh, sorry. Let's try again. I keep hitting the wrong notes. Okay, here we go. Okay. All right, so there's that one, and it's nice to kind of have two different performances playing together. That way, it just has a nice in and out type of thing that where it blends together. Let's see. This is full speed now. Okay, good. I think that was good. Maybe the cutoff. Let's listen to the cutoff. Cool. Maybe it's a little shorter there. And then the front notes, like this first half, I was rushing the beat a little bit. So what I'm going to do is push that. Let's see here. How should we do this? Maybe we go to the grid of the eighth quarter note instead of eighth note, and then let's just grab all our non-eighth notes. Just do that. Push that forward just a bit. Okay, and then here's our eighth notes here. Cool. I think we can maybe bring this down a tad. Good, good, good. Some of these are not overlapping as well, and you can hear when the attack happens. I see. Actually, I would want it there instead, and like that. Even this one's not overlapping. Good. That sounds pretty natural to me. I mean, of course, after you tweak it to death, but it's important to get those melodies to sound as convincing and natural as possible, because you don't want it to sound robotic, or you also don't want it to sound off with the timing, and because it gets distracting. Okay, that's important. That is the melody part. This is probably the easiest section in the entire piece. Just this and then this, which is viola. So let's look at the viola line now. Viola line is just doing these really fast triplets in what appears to be, we're in 3/8. Is that right? Yeah, we're in 3/8. Okay. So let's just look at that real quick. Another alto clef sight reading lesson here. So I'm gonna look at that together with this, maybe put in marcato, and here we go. So this is a B starting note. Oh, so let's see, that's not marcato, or at least the marcato I'm trying to do. Okay, so we have right, no, and then it goes to this, what is that? That's an E, right? Okay, let me start from the beginning. Right, E. Let me try that line again. Okay, and then C. Let's see. Okay, good, good, good. So, and this is going really fast. This is I mean, I'm playing at like a fraction of the speed here, but what we're gonna do is we're just focusing on this little section right here to about 90. So maybe what we'll do is do that strategy from last time, where I just minimize this, and we're half and half on the screen again. And then what we'll do is we'll put this in 60 note triplets. Is that right? Or eighth note triplets? Eighth note triplets. Because this is actually, in my DAW, I have it in 3/4, not 3/8. But anyways, so we're going to turn this guy, let's see, this guy on. Okay, and yeah, 75. This is 75. Great. So I'm just going to play it in with my right articulation, and it goes something like this. Oh, F sharp. Okay, so that much. Let's just hear that back. Let's find the right note though. Okay, here we go. So I flubbed one note here, and then there's also this one. So what did I do here? This should be like that. Okay. Here we go. This is what it sounds like. Oh, well, let's assign the right articulation. So on fast passages like this, we probably want a little overlap with marcato on there. And there is a slur kind of thing happening at the end of each measure. So I should technically do something like this, huh? So The last notes probably shouldn't overlap with the next note. Here we go. Cool. Okay, so that sounds great. Let's listen to that with everything else that's playing, just a melody in this case. So it's a mezzo piano. It's about there. That's kind of where we want it volume-wise. I could bring up the volume of the CC7 data too, if that helps. Although something's not happening here. Just make sure I'm in the right thing. Okay, let's see if that is working now. Okay, so I'm gonna bring that up, and then also now my other faders. Something like that. Maybe I'll start even a little stronger. Let's try again. Okay, and we're gonna kind of keep it in that area. We could write it as time goes on, but that's just to kind of get us to where we should be. And now I get to have more fun sight reading here. So let's go to our next page. Okay, there's more stuff. So you got violins coming in, English horn. Okay, great. So just debating if I can copy and paste some of this. This starting note is an A sharp. I don't know if there's an A sharp anywhere here. Okay, well, let's just do this little hack that we have going on. So we have A sharp. Okay, here we go. Sorry, I did that wrong, didn't I? It's a C. A sharp. Yeah. And then D sharp. Okay, that is a F natural. Excuse me, A. Interesting little slurring there. Okay, so then I'm going to stop this for a second. Where are we? So first off, this is measure probably should have it listed somewhere besides the bottom. It's all cut off on the bottom, but 76, 77, 78, 79. Okay, so this is 80. Measure 80. Aha. Okay, now I know where I'm at. So we're going to do this. We're going to kind of do the same strategy as before. So, yeah, I mean, this is a big jump. So let's go ahead and do that slurring. Let's get that. Okay, and then these are the interesting slurs. So I'm overlapping it, and then, oh yeah, I guess I have to select all of these notes and make them marcato legato as well. Okay, and let's listen. I'll put the volume up so you can hear that better. Okay, and technically, all of this should actually go in front of the beat just slightly. Okay, and then around here, like 82, I think other strings come in. But anywho, let's see. We're not that far from finishing it, so let's just go to 91 and finish the viola part out. And honestly, the viola part probably is doubling up with the one of these violins or both of them. Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna go to 83, which is where this is. These big rainbow ones, and let's go ahead and do more. So we got that. So these are more arpeggiated stuff, and starting note is G. Okay, now we're changing it to A flat. G, C, is that right? I think I did that wrong. So that last one should be A sharp. And then oh yeah, and that first note's not right. That should be a G. Okay, so we got G, E, C. G, E, C, and then way up there, G. I think I'm looking at the wrong measure. I should be here. G, E, C. Oh, my bad. Let's undo that. G, E, C, and then again, G, E, A. Okay, whew, made it through. Viola clef. Next line is A sharp, I believe. This looks like an octatonic scale, maybe. Just for that little 6 notes. Oh, okay. So that's that. Let's look at these notes in far more detail. Okay, so something happened here. I think I pushed this on the wrong notes or on the wrong measure because the last note should be on 91, I believe, or 90. Is it 90? 90. And then this is 91. So yeah, 90. 90 is the last one. Great. So I got that, and then all I need to do is do the same thing, marcatos. Although something here got messed up. I'm assuming this is a typo. Okay, and then we can push this in front of the beat a little bit as well as slurring. So we're going to slur everything but the last notes. I'm not sure about these ones, but I'm just going to, this is probably a safe way to go. Just overlap that. Okay, here we go. Good. Now, looking at the score, is there any type of swelling or any dynamic markings here? No, that's okay. I'm assuming we get a little bit louder here. So let's do that real quick. Okay, something like that. Let's call that one good, unless there's some typos here. Let's just see. Analyze chords too would be nice. So here, you know, it's that G minor chord. This is that F minor. Okay, and then you got this really funky G, C, B, but it looks like a E minor. And then, what is this one? It looks like a C chord. Maybe C major 7. And then this one, and I could be wrong, but that's what it's spelling. And then here you have this octatonic thing I mentioned. It's kind of a weird jump. I might want to double check those notes just to be sure, but like probably F. I mean, excuse me, B major kind of thing. Back to E minor here. So I have this E flat. I'm not sure if that's right. Should it be a F? Let's double check some of this. 86 I have here. So yeah, that should be an F, right? No, F, and then this is A flat. So I got this wrong. And then let's yeah, let me just look through this all. So we have this next measure, G E C, G C B, excuse me. So you got that E minor thing. There is a B flat in there. No, A sharp in there, and then B. So that's interesting. And then this part here, this is the one I was a little bit confused on. A flat, or in this case, B flat, C, E. Okay. And the last but not least, this measure, just to double check, we got a split here too. I didn't realize. There's a split in the, oh no, this is violin, sorry. Okay, viola. So you got this one going a little wonky. A sharp, B natural, D sharp, right? E, F sharp, G, C, B, C, B, G, C, B, G. Yeah. Yeah. Looks good. Okay. So I only got one of those notes wrong. Cool. And honestly, that might be a bit much once you add other things, but let's keep an eye on that one, the volume wise. Okay, so now we can go to what we have, our violins. Violins are the only other notes here that come in. Okay, so quickly analyzing this, we have F sharp, E, D sharp on the two violins. This also is that. Okay, so I'm assuming they're in unison here. Well, I should say violins are in octaves from the viola. That's what it looks like. But other than that, they're in unison. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. But then, instead, interestingly enough, this actually goes in unison, like true unisons. Violins go down to the G, while this viola from that D goes up to the G. So you're in unison there. And then I'm assuming we're in unison all the way through up until the end. Just checking all the notes, making sure. It looks good. Looks good to me. There's a little, I think that's cello. Yeah, cello sneaking in right there. Boo-doo-doo-doo. So it looks like cello also is playing this an octave below. Okay, let's keep an eye on that. Next is the last measure. So I just want to make sure that all the violins and violas are in the same unison notes. It looks like it. So let's call that unison from those arpeggios. And then over here, that snuck in cello line, it looks like it's an octave below that. Yes. Okay, let's call it, call it break, and let's just kind of go by memory here. So at this measure, I think it was this pickup to 82. Let me just double check real quick. Oh, okay. It's actually after this little jump, and then it goes do 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 do. It says in octaves here, and then this breaks into unison. Okay, so let's find that. I think it was right here. Oh, it's actually right here. Okay, so from here to there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this, which is nice. Like once you can find areas to save yourself time, then a lot of it is just copy and paste, which is nice. So there's that. There's also the cello one, the cello line. I'm gonna just add that in too. Why not? And cello line kind of sneaks in, sort of towards the end here, which I believe is this So I'm just going to delete that. And I think it's an octave below, if I'm not wrong. Let's see. Cool. And, you know, sometimes legato's better. It just depends. I think marcato would be necessary for this one. We just maybe need to bring the modulation wheel down. Sorry. Okay, something like that. Okay, and then going to our violins. Hello. I'll do a big screen on this one. And let's do that. Okay, so on here we have these notes are an octave higher. And then it goes lower. So I think we're good now. Okay. And then, you know, there's tricks to kind of make it thicker by, you know, maybe you offset one of these over so that it's behind the beat, something like that. And maybe I should do it on this one too. And that might help just kind of give it more of a detuned or sloppier sound. So it kind of gives it a more thick feeling to, or thicker texture. Also, maybe we bring that down. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, these are small things. You don't really have to do it, though. If I were to undo all of that and just bring this down, how would that sound? All right, something like that. And also, I just noticed there's a typo in the rhythm there. I kind of like it the other way I just did earlier, but I might have. Let's see if I. I don't know if I was able to go back to that, but anyways, that's the idea. So I'm just gonna move all of this just over like that, even though they're not. I mean, they're in unison. I'm just kind of trying to play with the sound a little more. The typo though, let's see. There's this typo right here. I've noticed. Okay, so what's wrong? What's wrong with this? This is all behind the beat. It should be like that, right? Let's see. So what am I missing? I'm missing a note here, but something's wrong. Okay, so 83. Let's take a look. See here. So we have E, D sharp, E, F sharp, E, D. Okay, so we're missing an F sharp. Like that. Okay. That was like a weird gap there, huh? Let me just double check. Okay, I was seeing if it was overlapped and underneath something. Okay, so there you go. And then this one here is kind of sneaking in. So I'm just going to sort of bring that in a little quieter. That's better. So sneaking it in doesn't, it's a little more inconspicuous that way. Okay. All right. So with that, it is a bit strong. So when we go with these big arpeggios, perhaps I re-record it or I just reshape this somehow. So if I go here to about here, maybe down here. Let's go a little bit lower on this one. And how should I... let me think about that. If I did this instead... Okay, still kind of loud. So then let's bring from here to here. Let's bring this down just a bit. Okay. And let's undo this for a second. Think about where to actually move this up and down. Maybe like that. Okay, a little better. That's just too loud. So I'm just going to move this and kind of line that up better. Okay, let's see how that sounds. Cool. Anything else I could do here? It's cool. It's a little bit thin sounding, and I'm pretty sure these are in unison and octaves for the most part, but there's just something about it just sounds very too tight, maybe and there's not enough room tone or something. Something's just throwing me off here. So let me just double check with reverb. If there's anything I could do to just make it sound bigger. I'm gonna actually change my sends a bit so that these get a little more tail, because when it's exposed like this, it just needs to really fill the room. We could also add just another layer of something to help with this. Let's see how it sounds. Cool. I think it helps a little bit to add that reverb. Now it's just kind of washier. One other trick then is what I just mentioned is with this viola line at least, let's layer it with one other instrument. And I'm just going to load in an instance of maybe Spitfire or the Pacific Strings, one of those two. Let's try the Spitfire first. We got Viola Core. Let's try that one. Okay, and I'm going to put the viola right here so it's together with this. And I'm going to bring this down. Okay, so this has more room tone, it seems like. And I just got to make sure that we're in the right articulation. So on this one, probably legato is the best. Let's see. Okay, let's hear how that sounds. Okay, yeah, you can really hear that tail. I think that's better. There's just something like with the thinness of the quality of those samples in this context. Let's put this together. The only thing that's weird about this is the imaging. This one seems further back. This sounds kind of, I mean, it's just louder, I guess. So what I'll do is I'm going to also bring this down a bit so it's just balanced a little better. Cool. I really like how that tails out. The only thing on this is, am I missing something else? I think there's like a harp or something that plays, if I'm not wrong. It just looks like woodwind according to the score. Let's listen to the recording though, just to make sure. And also, why don't we just listen to the whole thing with the original recording so that we can compare and see how it sounds. Of course, I mean, this will always sound better sonically wise, but let's just see if there's anything we're missing. Okay, harp. It's a lot louder with the harp, and also with the viola. Okay, so that cello is much louder, much more prominent there. So I do have an instance of this cello Spitfire too. Might as well try. And of course, don't do that. And just make it more furious sounding. Not really. That's not. That's a little better. Okay. Okay, so that's one. And then the cello definitely on this one will have to go up. So let's go like this. Yeah, it just sounds so clean. Sometimes too clean is not good. The room tone really helps too, getting it more lush. Okay, so that's one idea. Man, I really need to bring this one up somehow. Let's try that. It's a little better. Okay, so we put that together with that. Let's just listen to the last part of it. Good, okay. So here, maybe we sneak in like we've done in the past. Just give it a little bit more breathing. Okay, now I feel like this is a little too loud. Good, okay. So that's better. And then there's this harp thing I mentioned. Harp is really prevalent. So this harp is pretty mellow. It's got to be louder for one, and then am I in the right octave? So this B that plays B4. Yep, B4. That's right. We just need to bring out the velocities, I think. So we go here. Something like that. That's better. Oops. Something like that. Good. Okay. Let's go back a few measures from 75. Good. Okay. That might be exaggerated, but that's the idea. So we can just do something around there. Okay. Good. Good. And you know, like it's hard to balance things and know for sure, but after listening to the recording, my first instinct was actually right. I brought this down just earlier, but this needs to go up just a little more. So let's do that on both of those. But also, it has something to do with this other mod wheel, I think. Cool. Yeah, I feel like it just needs even more. So let's bring this up. There you go. Good. And then I'm not adding Spitfire violin yet. I'm just thinking, should I wait and just see if I can just make it work with this? Let's try that. Okay, here we go. There you go. Cool. All right, beautiful. Now we can add the next section. As you may all know, this dun 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 dun. No, let's listen to that with the score. I'm just gonna do a little preview. So this is the original recording. Sorry. There you go. Okay. And there we go. Sorry, it's a little wonky with the score going back and forth. I wonder if there's a way, like while I'm zoomed in, to move to a different page, but I don't think I can on this app here. Let's see. Is there a way to do that? I don't think so. Okay. Anywho, I got a little lost there. So, but as you can hear, you have like a trade-off between woodwinds and the trumpet, or the brass, I should say. Is there anything else? Let's see. Trumpet is really the one that's playing the melody here. And then after that little section, then it goes to the celeste. So I think we'll stop at 107, at least to focus on a section. So I even wrote these little markers from last time. I have trumpet and I have celeste. So we'll stop here at 107, and we'll check the time and see how we're doing. But it's 9 o'clock. Let's see how far we go with this. Here we go. Got English horn, and we have all these transposing instruments. We got clarinet. I think clarinet would probably be the safe one to start with. I do have to transpose this, so I do apologize as I plunk through this if this takes me more time and it's not going to sound as good. But we got to start somewhere. So English horn is transposed like a horn. Bassoon is not transposed, but is it in the right melody? Oh, yeah, it is transposed in tenor clef here. And then you have this one. And I don't believe this is the melody. This is just an E. Yeah, so, okay, so we're stuck with transposing with a woodwind. In this case, I'll start with our clarinet. It's really short. Got the something like that, or we can start there. So something like that. There's also a note that plays right before, like a B. Okay, so it's an octaves. Okay, so I'm reading the top line, clarinet 1, that's the melody. That's probably playing with the English horn there, right? You got the B, yeah, that's transposed to B, and then all of these are just harmonizing underneath it. Okay. I'm assuming clarinet 3 is doubling with bassoon 2, and so on. Let me see what tenor clef is doing real quick. So you got C. Sorry, I'm not saying the right notes. This is a C right here, this fourth line. So then this would be a G. Is that right? G, B. Yeah. Okay. So it looks like bassoon is doubling with clarinet 2, at least for this measure. All right. Anyways. That's an interesting chord. And then this is kind of like a leading tone. Let me try that again. And then back to the, or let me try this articulation. That's better. Okay. And so on. Let's look at the next page and play along with that for a second. Reason I play along with it too, I mean, it's good to practice and get the transpositions, but it's also just to see if there's anything unusual. And there's a lot of chromatic stuff happening here. Boo. Okay, that's a weird note right there, that D sharp. So one more time. Okay, and of course those aren't short, but most of it elsewhere is. So I'm thinking about how I should play this, because I'm using expression maps, and maybe I play it all short and then I'll switch them out to what they need to be. Something like that. Okay, so how should I do this? Should I slow it down? Maybe? Yeah, slow it down. And this is going to be painful, but I apologize ahead of time. This is not going to be pretty. So you have... Oops. Okay, maybe I stop there because then I have to zoom out and I have to turn the page. So I can't really memorize that next half. But yeah, so let's do that much and then see what we can do. So I'm going to solo this, and I'll give myself 4 measures. 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Let's go to the next page real quick. So zoom out, zoom in, and let's see. I'll go back about 2 measures. Press. Oh, you know what? I could do this too, so we can always see it. Yeah. Wow. Look at that. Sorry, I need to like move this out of the way. How should I do this? I'll move this out of the way so I can see where I'm at. Okay. 2 measures, right? Okay. 2 beats on maybe the last 2 notes there. So now we have C, B, A sharp. Okay, that was a typo there. Okay, well, we can speed it up. And then over here, we can kind of get this in the right vicinity. So most of these are in the right articulation, but for the long notes, we need to get that going. So this one is a long note, and that should be slurred, probably marcato. And then here, let's go bum, bum. That could also be tenuto or marcato. Let's try marcato first. And here we go. Let's give this a whirl. I might want to quantize or do a soft quantize. Hope that doesn't push it in front of the beat on accident. Okay, here we go. Okay, let's try again. That one's a long note too. Okay, and the reason why it's so loud on the marcatos is this what do you call it? Mod wheel or CC1 is kind of high, so that brings it up louder. Sounds better. Okay, let's look at this last note. This 94. 94. Okay, so you got a slur here. You got okay, that's like a marcato note. It could be tenuto too. Okay, and then you're slurring some of these notes. Yeah, so let's just go that much. So we have here. So da na 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 da na 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 na. You know, I should probably do not marcato legato, but I should do it with just the regular one. Okay, so da na 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 da 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 da. Maybe this one go a little longer. Staccato or staccatissimo. What about just staccato? Interesting. I think staccatissimo sounds better in this case. Okay, and then we have this measure here is also long, so I'll probably marcato again. Cool. Da-na-na-na. Oh, I guess I'm wrong. This is supposed to be short here. Interesting. Maybe I'll do like a staccato. Staccatissimo. Man, I swear there's a slur there. Let's listen to the original recording. Yeah, there's a slur there. Interesting. Yeah, the score is not always right. I mean, that looks like a plus sign to me, so maybe. Zoomed out, it looks like a dot, but maybe it's actually saying something else. What is a plus sign, anyways? It looks like a plus sign, doesn't it, guys? Look at that. It looks like a plus sign. It's so blurry, but yeah. I mean, from far away, it looks like a staccato. So maybe it's a plus sign, and I would have to review what that means. If you guys know, let me know. But I'm assuming some kind of just long type of note there. All right, Sam. Well, thanks for hanging out, man. Have a good night. Let's see here. So we have that as a long note. So, okay, so we're going to go ahead and get out of that. Let's go back to this. And what we're going to do is make this slurred, because that's really what I'm hearing. Sounds good to me. This may be longer. Oh, it's not even set to anything. Yep. Good. Interesting. It like carries over. Oh, interesting. Let's see if legato would do anything. Weird. It should technically, like with the scripting at least, it should mute it. But it's not doing that, which is weird. Sorry, something's not right. Why is it doing that? So I just have clarinet, right? Okay, interesting. So let's go back. And there's something weird happening in the actual instrument. That sounds better, but I think there's a slur on that. Let's see. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, so it needs to be a little longer. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, that's a little better. And, oh man. There are a lot of people that start messaging, some bots advertising. Anytime that happens, I have to boot you guys. That's better. I think we have to do something like that with the programming, with the scripting at least. So let's keep it going. So I think using our ears and our eyes, we can get most of this. So there's like a little slur technically on this B to D, which is right here. So, I mean, we could just do like a staccato. Okay, and then D da 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 D da 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 da. Could be the marcato thing. Good. So that's the idea. D da da dun dun. And then go to the next one. D da da dun dun. Okay, and then this one needs to go long. Something like that. Okay, so actually I probably should go legato on these two. Maybe on these three. Yeah, something like that. I'm a little bit behind the beat, but it should be something like that. Cool. All right, let's play that back one more time. Okay, so now I'm gonna listen to the recording just to double check on the articulation there. It's not bad, not bad. So that's pretty close. The melody though is kind of buried. I feel like maybe this is a little loud, so let's go ahead and go to this one, and that's probably good as far as volume goes. Okay, timing wise, it is in front of the beat a little bit. I did that on purpose. I'm just debating if I should just keep it like this. Yeah, that should be okay. Okay, so one other articulation check is this part right here. Oh, actually I skipped it. It's over here, isn't it? So is that a plus sign again? It might be a plus sign again. So if I listen to the recording one more time. Okay, nope, it's good. So that is a short note. Yeah, right there. Dun. Okay, so now we got that one done. The other ones aren't as, it's not going to be as hard. That was Clarinet 1. Now Clarinet 2 and 3, I might just put down here instead. So these are going to be more, let's see, what am I trying to say? They're going to be multi-voicing here. So like, for instance, the first notes, I'm not sure, I think it's probably going to be G. And let's see how I can figure this out. So we have this one right here, and this one right here. I'm going to discolor this something else so we can see this a little better. Great. And let's get rid of that. Okay, so let's get this a little bit bigger. And let's see here. Okay, now I have some room to mess with this a bit. I'm going to find the notes. So we have G. I was around that first one, right? Okay. Okay. Next one is yeah, A flat. Okay, this one's wrong. That should be an E. This one here, this is E. D sharp, E. What is this? B. So A. We're transposing this on the fly. A. So G. Okay, that's wrong. That should be a B, E, and F sharp. Cool. G's, B. Right? No, that's a G, sorry. B on this one, B flat. Okay, that should be a C natural. Okay, and next one. If I do okay, escape. That's a faster way to do that. Okay, so then if we go next line, this is A flat. I'm looking on the bottom of the clarinets here. We have G, F sharp, G. Should be B natural. What is that? E natural and B. Okay. All right. So we're gonna do the same thing, and I'm kind of debating. I know there's a way to do this where I have the same stuff. And this might be an idea moving forward too. What I could do is on the third clarinet voicing, excuse me, is take out all of this so that it's not like overwriting everything. But what this will allow me to do then is play. I'll just call this clarinet 2, clarinet 3, is play the different notes with it, but they're sharing the same articulations and all of that. So let's see if that works. I'm looking at clarinet 3 now, right? Okay, so clarinet 3, escape. There you go. That's a little faster. Okay, and then here we have E's. Oh, I see. I gotta get down here so it's easier to see. Okay, so we got E's. All of this should probably go down. Something like that. Okay. And you can kind of just play it and almost correct it as you go. And I think that was right. So that last note is supposed to be a C sharp, which is transposed to a B. Okay. Sometimes it sounds weird, but that's because the melody's not playing. But I think that's right. So then we have these notes. Oops, that's a B natural. Okay. Should be E. Okay, now you go E to the E. So that's kind of tricky. Cool. Same thing. Oh, let's get rid of that. This is G natural. This is B natural. This is D sharp. Okay. E sharp. E sharp. And yeah, that would be right. Okay, so going to this part, this is E's, D sharp E. Okay, is this right? This should probably be an A flat. Yeah, okay. Next page. Clarinet 3. Here you go. So this is now G, E, D sharp, E, G, C, A. Okay. All right. Moving back to the main DOS screen. Let's listen to how that would play together. Nice. Okay, let's check our articulations. There's a little bit of a lot of different types of articulations that I assigned, so I'm just trying to see if that's all congruent. Yeah, for the most part. All right, so now that we have the split parts, we can divide that up alongside with our English horn, right over here, English horn, and then and don't forget this part here. These two clarinet notes. But basically, we need to double up our lines with English horn and bassoon. That's what I was trying to say. So bassoon probably is splitting with clarinet 2 and 3 is what we were thinking here. So you got B flat. Oh, interesting. Let me just think about this for a second. Tenor clef, there's always a trick to everything when you're reading clefs. Tenor clef is one note. It's like alto clef, but the opposite. So if I see this, rather than saying C, it's actually an A flat. Oh yeah, that's what it is. Okay, so it looks good to me. I'm looking at clarinet 2 and bassoon 2, or bassoon 1, and it looks like they're in unison for the most part. I want to say for the whole thing. Let's just double check that real quick. What's cool is because of the way it's arranged, how clarinet transposes a major second above, and how this tenor clef is, they're actually the same notes as if you're reading it in treble clef. So as long as they match, then you're good to go. So this is probably a typo. There, well, let's see here. There should be an F sharp in this part, and there is an F sharp written, sharp accidental, but this one does. So I'm assuming that's just a typo there. You have C sharp and C sharp. Yeah. Okay. So then in that case, let's just assume bassoon 1 is playing with clarinet 2, and I haven't got far with looking at the other part, but bassoon 2 I'm assuming would be with clarinet 3. Let's just double check that real quick. Yeah. So then you have, these are the same notes. Boom, boom, boom. What is that? A flat, A flat. Yeah, okay. Good, good, good. B and B. Yeah, great. So all of that is fine and dandy. Looks like the English horn then would be probably just doubling up with clarinet 1, and in that case, we can rock and roll. A sharp transposes to D sharp. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we're good. So let's do this. Let's go to English horn, which is right here. Okay. All right, let's see how this sounds without any tweaking with our velocities or faders. Also, let me just double check here. Are these in unison or in octaves? I think they are in unison. Cool. Let's listen to the English horn. It's kind of quiet. Let's bring that up. Okay. All right, let's play that again. Maybe we bring down the bassoons ahead of time too. It's a little bit on the bright side. Let's bring it down a bit. There you go. Okay, good. And then also, timing wise, maybe on that last part, it sounds a bit rushed. So I'll do that. But the more important part is seeing what happened here. Ha ha ha. Okay, so I don't know what happened, but it looks like I messed up on the splits. So at some point I must have deleted Clarinet 2, because I'm pretty sure what I have here is Clarinet 1. Yeah, or maybe Clarinet 3. Okay. So oh man, I hate when this happens. At some point while I was looking on the score, I'm going to undo everything real quick. And we'll come back to where we just left off. But basically, oh, look at that. Basically, I need to find where I left off before I deleted Clarinet 2 on accident. This happens sometimes. So I probably changed all the notes. Okay, and then I doubled right about there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to save, copy this, and I'm going to undo or redo everything basically until here. Okay, so now we should have the right splits. Aha! Look at that. Okay, so bassoon 1 was kind of loud, and I'm going to bring that down. There you go. We're missing a whole harmony there. Okay, it's also speeding up probably because of my tempo track right here, as you can see here. I'm gonna move this down again. So the tempo track just seems unnaturally faster, which, yeah, it jumps eight clicks, which sucks because in the recording it does that, but it's probably more gradual. So what I'm gonna do is maybe every like two beats, we go. Let's just say like that. 156, 157. 158. And it's not a big difference, but to me it feels more natural. So then, let's see here. This was a little bit wonky. I see. I think maybe we change that articulation to something else. Try this one. Okay, let's try it again. That's better. It's not, it's subtle, but it just needs to be a little longer than the original notes. Maybe get a little louder. Man, I wish there was in between. No, that's too much. We can try a. I don't know. I don't want to go too crazy with this because it's such a minor thing. Let's just leave it as is. I think the velocity will help carry that through. Okay, so then what's next? So we have our melody here. Oh yeah, we talked about a little clarinet note right there on this. Oh, look at that. It's just, it goes to 1, 2. Interesting. Interesting. So on this beat, and this isn't exactly, I don't have that 1, 2 time signature, so I'm debating if I should add it in. Interesting. So I'll just add it in as a pickup to this measure right here. I didn't even notice that until now. So on our clarinets, we have a B and the octaves like that. And this should be a probably legato. Okay. All right. And it sounds something like this. All right, let's go back. Something like that. And we can go down. Okay. So there's the first half. Here's the second half. Let's go a little quieter. Okay. Yeah, that's about it. more or less. We could probably start it a little stronger. Okay, there you go. Cool. All right, very important that we get that because then some of this we can use for the trumpet too. Now, going back to this, we have our articulations all set in the right spots. I guess the only other thing then is to see, was there anything else being played there? And I don't think so. All right, so now we can move to the next section. After that little feature, we have trumpets and we have oboes. It looks like English horn too. So English horn doesn't get a break. They just keep playing. Okay. Violins, I should also mention there's little string runs here. But yeah, so what is this one playing? This is actually similar notes, but not quite. So what we can do is let's take our English horn. And let's put this over here. And then what I'm going to do is I'll kind of continue that with trumpet, actually. So I'm just debating which trumpet. Maybe this one. Okay, so let's go here. Or maybe let's do both of these. Yeah? Yeah, okay. All right, so first off, I need to do this. I do apologize. Sometimes I kind of go back and forth really quick, so I know that for those who are sensitive with the light, which I am, I'm pretty sensitive with lighting. It can kind of mess with your eyes, so I apologize if I'm doing that. Another thing I need to do is, man, this divider line is so nice to have, but also a pain sometimes in this case. So if I were to, okay, do this, then we should be good. Now we are on trumpet. Trumpet 1 is going to be different notes, but in the same array, basically. So this is an E. So it looks like we're kind of modulating here, or just being a different chord that is similar. So we got the E. Wow. That's the trumpet. Oh, I see. Let's change this all to staccato for a second. Okay. All right. So we got those notes: E, 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 D sharp, E, F. Okay. We can move pretty quick here, so that we have D, da, da, dun, dun, dun. Okay. So I'm gonna change this articulation to maybe marcato, maybe tenuto. Okay, that sounds good. And then this should also be something else. So maybe on these ones, let's try tenuto. Maybe not. Okay, and then this one maybe we do marcato. Cool. I'm just changing the velocities on this. Yeah, even more. Too much? Yeah, maybe too much. Okay. Anyways. Yeah, some of these are just too much. But this is the right idea. So then let's go to the next page. This is also slurred. I gotta remember that. You can barely hear anything there. That's partly because this is so low. So let's bring this up. Let's just double check this real quick. You got the slur. So that's got to be like a tenuto. That's also a tenuto here. And then this one just needs to really exaggerate. So, boom. Right? And maybe, I don't know if this does anything, but I'll bring it up. Okay, same thing. Tenuto here. Okay. Is this next page? Yes. Okay, so da, 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 da. Oh, I see legato. That works pretty well. Okay, and then this one done. Oh, interesting. This one's long. The woodwinds in the previous part of this phrase actually play this short. This is also staccato, tenuto. Okay, and this is not quite right. You got the. Okay, what are we doing here? Da, da, da. Oh, it is right. Okay, I'm looking at the. Oh no, I see. It's not right. It's an A. Whoa. Okay, so all of this needs to go up. So they got a C and a E. I'm transposing this, correct? Yes. Okay, so that's a bit much on that marcato. I feel like this one needs to be like a tenuto. Bum, 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 bum. Right on. I don't know if you can hear this through the microphone, but there's a lot of fireworks going on right now because of the Pioneer Day. Cool. All right, so that is, in a nutshell, the melody for trumpet, English, or oboe too. Trumpet and oboe are going to be playing that in unison. It looks like the oboe one is playing what trumpet one is doing. So let's take all of that what we just did and bring. Well, you know what? I also have this one, don't I? I'm gonna keep that and use this one instead. So this is the oboe. And I'm gonna keep one of these up there for now. So yeah, this is the oboe one right here. Okay, it's a bit loud, a bit bright. So what we'll do is we'll bring that down in the mix. Okay, let's hear it together. Okay, now the trumpet seems a little loud, so let's balance that too. So everything sounds good after that. There's something weird here where it just, there's like a few notes that really just stick out. Like that one might be too loud too. Okay, we'll harmonize that in a second. But what I'd like to do is just make sure that I understand what's happening here. Good. Now let's listen to the recording just to also just double check. Okay, and getting the right articulation and tone. Good. There's just maybe a naturalness in some of those the some of those accents, I should say. Um, you can fix some of that in compressors, but I think we can just do most of it in velocity. And I think maybe this tenuto isn't the right one for that note. That might be better. Yeah, and then we can just bring that down a little bit, so. Something like that. Okay, perfect. So I like that a lot, actually. I just want to make sure that this one also goes up in that little slurred note. Well, yeah, that spot just needs a little bit more juice. Dun, 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 dun. I just wish there's a way to put like a staccato and a longer note, like a sustained note. Is there a way to do that? Not really. That sounds even better. I mean, this is a mariachi vibrato, but it works for this short moment. Whoa, hello. Oh, that didn't work that time. I guess it didn't trigger the first time. So, So what we gotta do is we gotta think outside the box. Really exaggerate that. Something like that. Even more if you can. Yeah. Enough before it starts to sound unnatural. Okay, that sounds better. All right, so then we can go to our harmonies. So back to, oh, wrong page. Back to the trumpets and oboes. We also have some random woodwind hits on beat 2, looks like. But anyways, we'll add that in. So I'm looking at trumpet 2 and trumpet 3. So on this one, what should we use? I could probably just use the Spitfire stuff below. All right, now same thing, because there's 2 and 3 here, and then on the English horn and oboe 2 probably are in unison with the trumpet 2 and 3. What I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this track as well. Just got to zoom out here so that I don't duplicate other things. I'll call this trumpet 2, trumpet 3. And the reason why I'm doing this again is so that when I move these notes to a different instrument, like oboe 2 for instance, I can split it without having to go in and manually take the bottom note or top note of each, if that makes sense. So the only thing I need to do or make sure to do is delete all of this on my faders. Yeah, this is the last one. Okay, so now I can go into this one here, and I will find trumpet 2. Okay, here we go. So this one is a third below. I should just move all of these about a third below. Okay. And let's rock and roll here. So we have this and this. There you go. Okay, that sounded right to me. This note is saying A. Is that right? Why is it? Let's see here. B is saying B, but which is A transpose. Wow, let's listen. Okay. Well, let's trust that, and we'll keep going. D, C. Okay, sounding good so far. This is F sharp, so it's a E, G, or A. Okay, and then we got the C's again. B, C. Next page. So I'm going to trumpet 2. Let's find trumpet 2 right here. So you have F, which is a E. E flat, which is this one. F natural. Well, actually, that might be a. No, I'm right. That's F natural, and then that's good. C B, C E natural. B. Okay, so this one's done. Let's listen to these two. Okay, that last second to last note sounded wrong to me. That's an A sharp, which converts to a G sharp, right? And that's what I have. What chord is that? That would be a F minor chord. Spelling F minor chord right there. So maybe once we add, well, let's add it now. Why does that sound weird to me? F, A flat, C. Maybe it's a tuning issue. What the hell? I'm not sure what's going on. It's probably a tuning thing. Right? It's gotta be. Something just doesn't sound, it's not jiving there. Why does that sound so funky? So why don't we try a different articulation, see if that fixes it. Huh. I'm confused. Let's see if I'm gonna get out of this for a second. Maybe there's other instruments being played. Oh, I know why. Because this one below it is also being played, even though it shouldn't be. So I'm assuming that's what it is, but maybe not. Maybe not. Let me mute this. There's like an extra note I'm hearing. Is it playing this note? Is that why? It might be playing this A. So okay. Right? Huh. Okay, well, yeah, it sounds fine now. Okay, let's keep that. Let's do that. Wow. Maybe I'm going crazy now. So what we're going to do now is do our third voicing, which is trumpet 3. Trumpet 3 at measure 99. Now this one is using the same samples as this patch here. That's why I'm not having anything shared with my CC lanes. But the articulation should be the same. And let's rock and roll with that one now. So we got here trumpet 2, or 3, excuse me. I gotta zoom out. So we're going back to this page. This is measure 99, I believe. And we're going to transpose all of these notes down to this A. Okay, and let's just make sure that all of this is jiving. So we got B flat, A, G sharp, G, A. This should be an E. Okay, so that B flat should be A. Okay, good, good, good. Okay, let's just make sure that's right. I don't think that's right. Wow, let's listen to that real quick. Okay. Let's come back to that chord. I'm not sure if that was the right chord. 102. We'll come back to it. Let's keep going here. So this is the last measure of this line. A, G sharp, A. Okay, I'm gonna zoom out. Next page. And here is trumpet 3 again. So we have C, right? And then this is D flat. Okay. There's probably some kind of weird tuning issues here that is bugging me. I'm just like thrown for a loop. Maybe there's a wrong accidental. I'm just worried that this trumpet is like a C trumpet instead of a B flat trumpet or something. It's probably accidental. So let's use our theory here for a second. I'm going to look at this chord. We have DFA, so that's a C minor chord, and maybe my trumpet too is wrong or something. Maybe I have it as like a major C, E flat. Yeah. So I think I had this one wrong. Trumpet 2. There you go. Okay. Well, there's going to probably be more of those mistakes in a second here. So let's just double check. B flat. Good. Okay, now it's starting to sound good. So we have this right there. All right, and these should carry over. There you go. Good, good, good. B flat. And then last but not least, your A flat. Okay, so I said at 102, we're going to revisit this because something was not jiving. Let's just look at the 102 measure. So in 100, 101, 102. So this measure here on that half note is this one. So I have A sharp should be G sharp. Oh, okay. Okay, so what chord is that? G sharp, B. So it's a G sharp minor chord. I think I got everything else right. Let's see. The only other one was this one. I mean, it just, if it's a tuning thing, I'm not sure. I mean, it sounds good. I'm overthinking it. Okay, so what we'll do now is split that. So trumpet 2 and oboe 2 seem to be in unison. I'm just checking these notes. And my face isn't blocking the top right corner, is it? No. Okay. So you can see all of these notes here. All right, so then over here we have oboe 2 again, E flat, and trumpet 2, right? That's E flat. Good, good, good. So all of this is in unison, I'm pretty sure. Okay, and then English horn, it looks like it goes to oboe. Just take a note of that. So there's 3 oboe players in this concert orchestra, and then it's the third oboe oboist plays English horn every now and then. It switches back and forth. Good to know. Okay, so the other thing I was going to analyze is our trumpet 3 part is probably doubling with our English horn. So let's just double check here. So this is English horn, and down here's the trumpet 3, and it looks like we are not. Well, yeah, you know what? I always forget. English horn is a transposing instrument. So this is sounding a fourth below. So you have E, which is actually an A. So yes, this is a sounding A as well. We're good to go on that. And I'm just going to kind of breeze through this one. I'm assuming that's all correct. This one's interesting. This is D sharp, which is sounding a fourth below. That would be, what would that be actually? A G sharp? Fourth below. Yeah. So no, that would be A sharp. So then over here, this would be a flat. Fourth below a D sharp. Fourth below a D sharp. Fourth below a D sharp. Yeah, that's right. I'm going crazy, I think. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that real quick. We got this to our oboe. And this one I just copied is the English horn. Great. So then let's just balance this out, make sure that the volumes are in the right vicinity here. So here we go. This is English horn. Okay, so I think I need to do a little bit of this type of work, meaning what I had earlier. We're just going to mimic that here. So I can't forget that while we work on these other instruments. So oboe 2. Oboe 2 is probably missing that. Actually, it's not. So that's good. So let's go ahead and look through this now. I think we're good. That sounds great. That sounds real. Really real. Cool. Yeah, it sounds awesome. So the Spitfire brass, I've always been a fan of theirs. This was also recorded in the same hall, I believe, that this soundtrack album was recording in. So that's partly why the room sound just sounds so good. But yeah, the trumpet players are amazing. So as far as sampling that, you can't really go any better than that, I think. So we got all of this, and then we have some string runs where it goes da-da-da-dum. So let's do that now. So that's the little thing that plays on beat 2, and then you wait, and then you do it again on this measure. So there's that. There's also the woodwinds. Let's actually start there first. We got this hit. So this is just spelling probably a B chord, or no, that's transposing. So then probably C minor chord. C minor. What is that note? This would be a G, and this would be an A. Interesting. Okay, A, G, A, G. I gotta think faster here. A, G, A, and then C, E. So this is actually spelling out A minor chord. My bad. I said C minor. Should be A minor chord. So let's put these in. So we have these notes on beat 2, which is right here. Let's do a staccato. Oh, I'm missing like all of my fader here. Oh, well, actually, yeah, I am. That's weird. Okay, let's pause for just a sec. What I'm gonna do is grab all this and put that here. Okay, sounds good. This one's a little bit too loud. Okay, all right, and then what I was gonna do is just continue this. So we have this staccato note. Could also be just shorter. Could be something like that. So there you go. There's that one here. Then we have this one on a, I believe a G, but an octave higher. And then clarinet. Clarinet was playing, oh, excuse me. I was looking at tenor clef here, but I didn't realize this was actually going back to bass clef. So my bad. There's a C. So that's the C. And then going back here, we have spelling this out as A-C-E. Okay, A-C-E, A-C-E. Well, that's really loud on that last one. That's it. That's it. Okay, so that's the woodwind contribution here, with all of the brass playing underneath, and then strings. Strings is the next part. So let's go ahead and just stretch all this over, and I'll just use these strings for the most part. But basically, we're doing a run, 5 notes, spelling out A minor chord. This is in octaves. Oh no, in unison. Okay, so then this one is an octave. So cello is an octave below everything, and then we have a bass note pizzicatoing just on this measure. On the other one, it's arco. So that's interesting. Okay, easy enough. So 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Let's see which articulation I can do here. Let's do like a staccato. Okay. And do I have my I think I have my metronome on 2-2 or something. Yeah, okay. I see. Yeah. I can do that. 2, 1, 2, 1. Oh, hello. Yeah, let's see if I can do a better job. Oops. There you go. There you go. That's better. So you have this da 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 done, and then let's kind of push it in front of the beat. We can do it marcato or staccato. That sounds better. Okay. So there's that note. Anything here that can be better here? I think just making it cleaning that up a bit. Okay. So there's that. What we're going to do then is just copy this over. And it'll just sound stronger and stronger as we add more and more of these string libraries. I don't know if I'll use the Spitfire. Maybe. I mean, it's just so redundant. If we can do it without it, that's the best, and that's less work for us. So then we have this. There's a pizzicato. I'm going to go back to the score. There's A, which is an octave below, though, so that's good. This should be pizzicatoed right here. Okay, and I need to glue this together. Okay, and might be too loud, so let's see how that sounds. Here we go. It's pretty good. Maybe a bit more on that bass, and I'm gonna listen to that recording again. So here's the recording. It really resonates there. That's crazy when you start to A/B or compare your recording with the score recording. That it's like there's just these nuances that you miss, and so it's good. I'm really happy that I'm doing this. It's just also frustrating because you're like, oh man, I didn't think it would be that loud. Yeah, so after listening to that recording, there's just a more washy sound playing throughout there, for one thing. But it's also, I mean, a little bit is the room tone, which I think what I mentioned before about the viola and cello, these patches here from Spitfire, that might help. So I might have to do that. But I'm going to change the articulation here. So this is tenuto. Do I have a tenuto here? Oh, okay. I have it listed as this SFZ. Okay, let's see if that carries over a little more. That sounds better. Maybe here we bring this up. Okay. Another thing we can try is marcato. Okay, so let's try that. Almost need to bring it up more. I don't know which one sounds better. Let's see if I go staccato. That's really hard to tell unless we bring up the velocity. That sounds better to me. Okay, and this pizzicato just doesn't really resonate. I mean, it's a kind of a short pizzicato. That's okay. So what I'll do is I'm just gonna try one of these with a viola line. So this is Spitfire viola. It's really quiet, so let's bring that up. Like that. Oh, hello. Yeah, that one just doesn't respond as well, huh? So, oh, it's not even assigned, that's why. So let's try a legato. And this one should be more like a marcato. Whoa, hello. Tenuto. Hello. Yeah, that tenuto is too long. So let's bring that to, let's say, do I have a staccato? Short brushed. Wow. Yeah, I don't know. This one's harder to program, I would say. So let's make sure they overlap. Okay. Yep. I think that's good enough for now. So then we have this type of scheme, in a sense, for our next part, which is right here. And it looks like it's the same notes, which is great. So then the only thing that's different back here is we have our bass line doing that now, which is also an octave below the cello. So this is a 3-octave thing happening. Let's see how that sounds. Wow. Okay, add the bass in there. Wow, look at that. Cool. The something with the bass sounds a little bit behind the beat. I might have to go like that. Yeah, I mean, to my ears, at least with these headphones, it sounds more in time that way. Okay, let's go to the next measure. So rather than waiting 4 bars for the next part, it looks like it's going to more chromatic run in a sense. Let's see, what is that? This is it's almost like a I was gonna say octatonic, but no, it's a B flat minor pentatonic kind of thing. So let's go here, grab that, and do our B flat minor. So it's doing that, and then after we have same thing, but an octave higher. So it's just this A minor run, octave higher. Okay, let's just make sure that all of the other instruments are in that array as well. It looks like it. Only thing is, okay, I see. So the violin 1 is the only one that's doing that. Violin 1, and then everything else, so like violin 2 should be down below again. And then cello should be also down below, like that. This is viola. Okay, so cello should be back to where it was before. And then all of a sudden, there's no contrabass bass on that part, which is really fascinating. So we delete that, and it sounds like this. So it kind of thins out, and then dun 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 dun. 1 dun 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 dun. So on this part, A minor, or are you spelling it A minor? No, it's a F. Oh yeah, there's a F minor chord right on the first half, and then whatever this is a B, B A, no B B B B. So then you end on B. Okay, so bum 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 bum. Let me just double check that. Bum 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 bum. C F C C F back to up C C F C. Okay, let's try that. I'll just take these notes here and go like that. Let's extend that out. Okay, so it's C, F, C. This should probably be here. Okay. All right, so let's take those notes, put that here. All right, double checking notes. Okay, and then the last one would be our, well, actually, since we're using Spitfire and layering it here, we might as well. Let's brush that. Okay. And then a cello is actually below. Dun 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 dun. Okay, now I'm going back to the score. Is the bass out completely? It looks like it. Okay, so great. I'm gonna go back to the beginning and see how it sounds. Cool. Now that the only thing I'm hearing is the bass is a bit heavy there. So let's bring it down. And maybe even the velocities. There you go. Okay, that sounds a little more balanced. Okay, so that in itself for today's stream covered really 30 measures. It looks like we went from 75 to about 106. So let's listen to where we left off from last week and this week. But before we do, I'm just gonna do my last minute tweaks here and also just housekeeping in general, gluing all of these notes together, and we're good to go. So let's see here. Do. Cool. So let me just double check that violin line. Yeah, so violin goes up to that. I'm just wondering if I should bring this up or down. Maybe just for that moment. And I feel like I need something like that. I don't know. Maybe it's more in the velocity, but by doing that, that will help for this this next part. Is the line here staccato? It probably is. Let's just listen to that. Yeah, it's nice and short. Da, 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 da. I think that last note maybe is too long. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Let's see. There you go. I'm actually debating on changing these as well. So staccatissimo for these ones. There you go. That sounds better. There you go. Okay. I think we're good. I might have actually put this a little too quiet on the bass. Good, good, good. And then there's something wrong with the timing on these strings. Let's just listen to this real quick. You know what it is? It's that violin. Okay, so these last three or two notes are good. But here, there's something weird about that. Let's just, yeah, let's do that. I'm going to change the articulation on that first one. So that tenuto one is just a little too long. Okay. Good, good, good. I think we are ready to just showcase where we leave off here. So I'm gonna play it from the beginning to just give you the whole scope of how this sounds and where we've come from at the very top. And then there's about 200 something measures. So what we'll do is say we're about halfway there. And so if all goes well, we can do 2 more sessions and call it good. Maybe if I have some time, I can do some prep work ahead of time so that it's not all just doing it in one sitting. But we'll see. We'll see if I have time to do that. So this is the Hedwig's theme, and I'm going to play it from the very top. Here we go. All right. Well, that is all for today, guys. Thank you for watching. And we are about halfway, like I mentioned. So hopefully we can do 2 sessions at least to get this finished out. All right. Well, I will see you next time. And just keep staying creative. And I hope you guys have a great weekend. Take care.